You don't need a whole new wardrobe to create amazing outfits for date night and going out, because your favorite office shoes or even casual flats can completely transform into the perfect piece to create a stylish, romantic, and comfortable look. And this is where your style roots can actually come in. Today, I'm going to show you how to create amazing date night and going out outfits using 3 pairs of shoes from Vivaya. And I've styled them for different style route combinations to show you that you can look effortlessly chic while still staying true to your personal style. So if you're excited, let's dive straight into it. Now, when I was setting my style resolutions for 2025, I made a promise to only work with brands that I was genuinely excited and curious about. And on top of that list in my mind was Vivaya. So when a few weeks later they actually reached out to me and offered to collaborate on this video, it just felt like I manifested this. And I've been a long-term fan of Vivaya because of their sustainable approach. Their shoes are actually made of recycled plastic bottles, which is amazing. And beyond that, I find them very, very soft, they're breathable and really comfortable. And when I actually had them in my hands, I could see how lightweight they actually are, which makes them perfect for traveling and for those days that you don't want to be wearing really heavy and uncomfortable shoes. And one thing that I love, because I do have quite sensitive feet, is that they're actually very flexible and they adapt to your foot's shape. And in that way, they create this snug fit that is really comfortable without the usual discomfort or blisters. And so when it comes to the style routes, I had already found myself recommending Vivaya shoes because no matter what my clients would come up with in terms of style route combinations, I could usually find a pair to suit their needs amongst the hundreds of different pairs that they have created. And so when it came to styling romantic outfits, date night outfits, there are some very, very obvious choices that are very popular, such as the Margot Red flats. But I wanted to show you that you don't need to go very obvious and you can take pretty much any pair of shoes that suits your style routes and then elevate it to create a romantic look. So after analyzing your requests, I noticed that a lot of you mentioned having either mushroom or mountain or both as style routes. And so this is why the first pair that I chose are actually the Scarlet Kitten heels. Now, to me, these are the perfect everyday office appropriate shoe because they are low heel and they have this pressure relief insole, making them super comfortable for longer wear. And the heel is low enough that you can actually run in them. They call them running shoes on their website, and it is true. So in terms of the color scheme, I wanted to stay in tune with the polished Mushroom Mountain spectrum, and so I chose the classic black and white pair. And so to me, this is just very timeless, very Chanel-esque design, and I was really excited to see how I can style them. Now, if you do like the shape, but maybe aren't a fan of that specific color combination, they actually come in a variety of solid colors that are very, very classic. But if you have any of the other style routes, you can actually incorporate them. So there are a couple of pairs that are absolutely incorporating the sun style route. So the shape is still very polished, but the pattern, such as the chevron pattern, all of the rhinestones, the polka dots, or even the sparkly version, they're all very much sun. And so they are office appropriate, but maybe create something more about your personal style. If you do like fire, there is the snake print one and also this very sparkly version. And if you are a fan of the moon style route, there is also this black lacy version that can definitely take it into more of a grungy territory. And Vivaya have been kind enough to actually give you guys a little bit of a discount. So if you use this code that I'm showing on screen, you'll be able to get a discount on any pair of shoes that you like on their website. So definitely check them out. So you've seen my pair. Let me show you how I actually styled it. Okay, so for this first look, I wanted to start with just mountain and mushroom and then maybe build from there. So I started with this black turtleneck, my checkered wool skirt, and I also added a pair of black tights because it is still a little bit cold in here. And I also added my simple black coat. So if you just leave the outfit as it is, I think this is a perfect outfit for a variety of different things. You can go to a coffee date, you can go even to a more of an evening date, and those shoes, you can see how they perfectly match and create that sense of cohesion and polish. Now, if you wanted to lean much more into the mountain style route, all we need to do is replace the coat with something a little bit longer, like my white coat in here, and you can see how straight away the look starts to be a little bit more intimidating, leaning into that mountain feel. Now, if you're someone that maybe has the sun style route as well, maybe not extremely pronounced, but you still want to incorporate a little bit of fun, then I think a black turtleneck is the perfect canvas for any sort of larger or funky jewelry. So I added my large pearl necklace, and again, you can see straight away it becomes a little bit more noticeable, a little bit more different. And if I wanted to emphasize maybe a little bit more of that sun style route and add touches of femininity, then you can add a red beret and a red bag. And you can see how this straight away creates a little bit more of a romantic, a little bit more playful look, because now we have not just the black and white contrast, but also a little bit of color and more interesting, larger accessories. For my next look, I decided to keep the mountain turtleneck. It's very classic, it's very clean, but then I definitely wanted to play up a little bit on that sun, maybe even moon style route. And so I added my pair of black sequin shorts. And so those are definitely an extra piece. I would say they lean into sun in the sense that they are impractical. Like there's no reason for anything to be fully sequined. And so you can see that the shoes kind of ground this look and make it a little bit more appropriate even for daytime events and occasions. Now in here, I wanted to keep a little bit of playfulness, so I added my silver jigsaw necklace. I love jigsaws, so I always feel like this is a very representative piece for me. And you can see how this look is still polished, but definitely has touches of fun, and the shoes definitely support that. Now, if you want to amplify the sun like in the previous look, just add a little bit of a visually more interesting, more impactful necklace like I have done in here with this pearl one. Now, if you wanted to go a step further, you can absolutely keep the style of the turtleneck, so it is still that slightly more intimidating feeling, but you can change the texture of it and a little bit the shape. And so I replaced mine with this cream one that I absolutely love, because it definitely has a bit more of a sun and mountain feeling. So the color and the fabric and the color are mountain, but then the pattern and the sleeves and just kind of how it overall fits, I would definitely say is a little bit more intriguing. And so combined with the sequin shorts, we're definitely starting with a very strong sun style route, but still keeping it polished. And so I think for me, this is my kind of date night outfit that is still comfortable, but definitely visually interesting. And if that's not enough for you, you can also add patterned tights. Again, I've kept them black, so very, very classic, but you can see that straight away we are upping the intensity of the look. And so depending on how much you want to amplify your look, you can definitely go in steps, adding more and more interesting details that is going to create a much more visually impactful look. Now, maybe you want to keep the tights, but the sequin shorts and everything becomes a bit too much. You can add a more plain black skirt. And again, that created one of my favorite looks. And to me, this is something that I would 100% wear, but I wouldn't have created if I didn't start with the shoes, because that black and white contrast was just so inspiring to me. And I think that this is an extremely comfortable look. Both the skirt and the jumper are stretchy and comfortable, but at the same time, because we have the polish from the shoes, from the classic color combination, and also the tights, it can still look date night appropriate, but still feel very comfortable. By the way, if you're enjoying this video so far and you want to see more styling videos, give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Now, let's go back into the video. Now, you may want to go into a bit more of a fire direction with those shoes, and so I wanted to show you different ways you can do that. So I decided to pair it with my black skinny jeans and also this velvet top. So it has rhinestones all over, which definitely makes it, I think, fire with a little bit of a sun cheeky element. And you can see that, again, the shoes being so classic in terms of color definitely still support that look, but this is basically jeans and a nice top in definitely more of a fire moon variation. And I've also added my black beaded bag for just a little bit of that extra sparkle, so adding a little bit more of touch of fire. Now, to show you how much range these heels actually have, I decided to play a little bit with moon. And so I added my white shorts, I added the black lacy top, so that is definitely leading into moon energy, and I added my suede black waistcoat, which is mountain. And so you can see that this is definitely an interesting outfit. I feel like it feels stronger, more creative, more different, but because of the black and white scheme is kept in there, it is definitely still polished and put together, but definitely has that more moon sun energy in there as well. This last outfit was a little bit of a wild card. I think it kind of fits within a variety of different style routes, but I wanted to show you how much range actually the shoes have. And so I was super inspired by the Vivienne Westwood aesthetic, kind of like pairing a white blouse with some pearls and also a plaid skirt. And so this is the outfit that I created, and I call this like a playful romantic, but at the same time it has a darker, edgier side. And so the plaid skirt with a very delicate blouse, and then I added a pearl belt and also pearl necklace that I wore as a belt. And I actually wore this outfit just with boots because it was really cold for a Valentine's Day dinner, and I felt amazing because I do feel like the outfit combination is really interesting and the shoes really support that vibe without actually contrasting or taking the center stage. Now, for the next pair that I wanted to show you how to style, and in here I have created a variety of different looks, is the Addison slingback heels. And to me, they were the perfect blend of feminine and polished. So I would say on the two spectrums, they lean a little bit more mountain because of the slightly sharper pointed toe, and flower due to the delicate color. But honestly, if you have any need to feel feminine and the need to feel polished, these are really great shoes. And to me, these are the perfect day to night kind of shoe because you can absolutely wear them in the office, even in a more strict environment. Because of the shape, they would work regardless of the color. But you can definitely kind of dress them down. You can wear them with jeans, you can wear them with skirts. I'll show you a variety of different looks. Now, if you are someone that maybe leans a little bit more to the fire side, you can definitely get them in red or in this sort of snake print. I feel like it definitely takes it into a more sensual territory. And if you're someone that maybe doesn't feel this huge need to feel feminine, so you don't need the color to represent that, you can definitely pick them in a classic color as well, such as the navy, the camel, the black, and they're great. Now, if you have sun or moon, you can definitely go again with the metallic or with the lace, very similar to the previous pair. So you can see how the color and the print can change the overall feel of a shoe. So the form, the shape is still very polished and classic, but then the print or the details can actually take it into a combination of style routes. So let me show you how I style the Addison heels. So starting with these heels, I actually wanted to play a little bit more with the stone style route because I do think that some of you may have stone and you don't want to completely forgo it. So let's say you have flower and stone and maybe you want to add a little bit of that mountain vibe perhaps, and so we're going to do that in this outfit. So first of all, I started by adding a pair of my looser fitting jeans. I added the delicate flowery blouse, and then I wanted to keep the accessories to continue adding that mountain and that flower vibe. And so I added my small structured bag but in light pink color, and I added the shoes. And so you can see that this outfit is quite relaxed, but it definitely has that feminine touch that comes from the shoes and the bag. Now, if we wanted to amplify both mountain and flower, one thing that you can do is add a cropped light pink blazer. And you can replace that maybe with a lighter cream blazer, lighter blue, anything that is much more of a delicate color. And so that is still going to add a sense of structure, but sense of delicate structure, and is definitely going to counterbalance any sort of looser fitting jeans. And so I do think that this outfit is definitely a combination of different style needs. It still feels polished, which is the mountain style route. It still feels feminine, which is flower, and it definitely feels a little bit more relaxed because nothing is actually extremely fitted. Now, I wanted to play a little bit more with flower, stone, and mushroom, so I wanted to keep things a lot more looser fitting and a little bit more simple. And so in here, I decided to replace the jeans with a pair of skinnies, which are basically mushroom and flower. They're very delicate and also very simple and neutral. And so I decided to add my striped shirt that is extremely loose fitting and to kind of keep it untucked to create even more of that relaxed feeling. Now, I decided to add the heels just to keep a little bit of that flower mushroomy classic feel, and I added sunglasses for a little bit more coolness. Now, if you prefer, you can definitely tuck in the shirt. I am definitely still experimenting with having stuff untucked. Now, I feel that both of those versions are leaning into stone through the denim, the relaxed shape, but they're still keeping a little bit of that polish and femininity coming from the shoes and the gentle tones. And now, if you wanted to go a little bit more stone, you can actually unbutton the shirt, add a crop top, and just keep the rest of the outfit the same. Again, I feel this goes more into street style, cool vibes, but because we have the pink shirt and the pink heels, it's still definitely leaning a little bit more into that polish and a little bit more into that femininity. Now, if we want to go mountain, mushroom, and flower, I think that the heels fit absolutely perfectly in here. And so I have added my intricate lace blouse, the white pair of shorts, and then the pink blazer, all items that you have seen with the pink structured bag and the heels. Now, I think in here we have a very strong flower influence in terms of all of the shades being very, very light, everything being quite cropped as well. The shorts, the blazer, everything is quite short, but we still have that polished sensation, everything looks put together. And I think that if you're someone that is leaning more into that delicate feminine essence and still wants to look put together and polished, this is a great outfit that can definitely take you from day to night. Now, if you wanted to lean into mountain and still keep that feminine vibe, but it is less delicate right now, what you can do is replace the top with something that is maybe still a silk shirt, but definitely in a stronger color, like I have done it here with the silk blouse, and then I've added the long, more intimidating coat. And you can see how those really small tweaks straight away remove maybe that very delicate feeling, and it starts to be a little bit more sensual and definitely a little bit stronger, more intimidating. Now, maybe you're not a fan of shorts, which is totally fine. You can absolutely replace them with a pair of white jeans, and it's going to create exactly the same flower effect, and it's still going to lean even more into that mushroom because it's a very classic, very simple kind of item. Now, maybe we want to keep mushroom and flower, but we want to lean a bit more into stone. So basically we're asking ourselves, how can we make this a bit more comfortable, relaxed, and maybe a little bit more pared back? And so in here, rather than wearing blouses and blazers, I just replaced that with a very comfortable, looser fitting cashmere knit. So it's very soft, it's pink, and it's very simple. There are no embellishments, no decorations, no weird looking shapes. It's very, very simple. And so this is definitely leaning into that stone, mushroom, and flower energy. Now, maybe we don't want to lean into stone as much, and so we want to lean into fire. Well, what you can do is pair that with a short skirt that is maybe a little bit more fitted, and add a pair of tights, and you can see how a jumper that can definitely be quite relaxed straight away becomes a little bit more sensual, a little bit more interesting, and that outfit is definitely looking more sensual and more womanly. So I hope you can see how the heels keep the feminine vibe, but anything else that you put together, it can actually look quite different, and they're extremely versatile. Now, if you wanted to lean more into moon, flower, and fire, what you can do is get yourself a black slip dress and pair that maybe with a lace sheer top. Straight away, that's going a lot more into moon, but because it is silky and fitted, that is definitely leaning into that fire sense. And by keeping the heels and the cropped blazer, we're still keeping a little bit of that delicateness, but I would say this outfit straight away feels more womanly, stronger, and more sensual. Now, let's amplify the flower and moon vibes and add a little bit of mountain to still keep it polished. So in here, I added my short gray skirt, I kept the lacy top, and I added the pink blazer on top. So it is creating that very interesting contrast between something very delicate and girly and something that's delicate but definitely dark. And by adding the pink accessories, the shoes, the bag, and then the blazer, it is still keeping that delicate girly feeling. And so this is definitely a mixed outfit. It may not be your cup of tea, but I feel for me, it is definitely that playful but still dark and sensual aspect of it, because in the end the outfit is not very safe, but at the same time it still keeps those maybe more delicate vibes as well. Now, for my last pair of shoes, I actually wanted to incorporate some flat shoes, because just because you're going out or on a date night, it doesn't mean that you have to wear heels. And also there is a variety of different events, maybe grabbing a coffee with someone, going for a walk, or anything like that, that you just don't want to wear heels. And so this is where the Audrey loafer actually can be a great addition to your shoe collection, because they are again a very classic, very simple shape, but you can definitely elevate them with the design and style them in a variety of different ways to suit your style roots. So the pair that I pick has this super cool cheetah print, and I was just really excited because yes, they're black, they're very classic, but just this little embroidery makes them 10 times more exciting and more interesting for me to style. And even with a more classic, simple outfit, just wearing the shoes maybe adds a little bit of that point of interest, that sun style root that you might have. Now, if you're someone that has the sun style root quite strong, I definitely feel you can find a suitable pair of shoes in here. So let me show you some of my favorite designs, like this bee one. This one with the dachshund is so fun, but still very classic colors. I really like this sloth one and the red cheetah version. There is also a penguin one, and even the black dachshund and the black cat. I just feel like they're very whimsical, they're very fun. So if you don't take yourself too seriously, if you want something that's a little bit more fun, definitely these are a great pair to look into. If you don't like the embroidery, maybe you prefer a pattern, you can definitely find them in this very bright green pattern, or even the more zigzaggy chevron patterns as well. Really cool. If you're someone that prefers more of a classic pattern, so mushroom mounted, you can find them in this tweed version or this very nautical one as well. And if you have the moon style root, I feel like the red checkered print or the star one can be a great addition. And even if you may be someone that prefers more of a casual style, so something that is more urban chic, like the stone style root, there is a camo version as well. So variety of different colors, same shape. So let me show you how I styled my Audrey loafers. So for this first look, I was actually super inspired by the flower style route with maybe a little bit more of that sun influence. And so I decided to start with a very neutral base, so black jeans with a nice white top. But rather than just having a plain white top, I decided to go for this lacy shirt. Now to add more sun elements, I went with the flats and then added my leopard print belt and also this brown bag that has flowers in there. So I would say it's a nice mixture between something that is cute, but it's also a little bit more interesting. And so it's kind of like flower and sun combined. And so I really like how this outfit turned out because you can literally recreate that with anything you own. You can use your belts and accessories, and it's still a very put together kind of interesting outfit without going over the top. Now for this next one, I was actually inspired by the combination of flower, sun and earth. And I don't have many earth clothes, so this was definitely challenging to create. But I decided to lean into the color palette that is found in the flats. So all of those browns, creams that are in the cheetah. And so I started with the same white blouse from the previous look, but now added my cream leather shorts. And straight away, this base is a little bit more sun because it is a bit different, it's a bit more interesting. Now to add the earthy vibes, I added my mustard yellow trench coat, and again that created that very interesting but also earthy feel because it's leather, it is in an earthy tone, and so straight away it created a different look. Now I kept the bag the same and I also added my tinted glasses, and so overall I definitely think that this look is primarily flower and earth, but the sun is found in the accessories and in the overall unusual, slightly different, slightly more creative feel of the outfit. And so I think that this is perfectly daytime appropriate, but you can easily take it into night as well. Now let's keep the same style roots of flower, sun and earth, but if we wanted to lean a lot more into the earth style route, then what I would do is first of all replace the very delicate blouse with a more of a textured jumper, and in this case I added this cream one because we're still keeping the light color, which can be a flower influence, but we're adding the texture that is going to definitely lean more into earth. I also replaced the original belt, which was very, very delicate, with the slightly chunkier one that is brown and has a very interesting buckle, again leaning into earth and sun. Finally, I decided to add my cropped white jacket, and this one is definitely earth and flower. I kept the shoes and I kept the bag the same to keep adding that sun vibe. And so you can see overall this does look different from the previous look, but we have just changed the proportion that each of the style roots has. Now let's say that you have sun and moon and also fire. Let me show you a couple of different variations that you can use to play with this style route. Now I do think that fire and moon are definitely the more nighttime, sensual, date nighty kind of style routes. So a lot of your clothes that you use day to day may actually apply in here quite easily. First of all, if you have a black velvet dress, this is the perfect item to wear on a date night, whether it's shorter or longer. And so in here, you can see how I paired it with the flats and the same small bag that I used in the previous looks, because I didn't want it to go all vampy. I wanted to go a little bit more into that playful, interesting, but still sensual direction. And I also added my egg golden necklace because, again, I think that in here we only add sun through the accessories, keeping it a little bit more interesting. Now, let's say that we want to lean a lot more into the moon style route and basically keeping fire and sun a lot lower. So in here, the first thing that I've done is I've replaced the dress with a combination of my black faux leather trousers, which are moon and fire because they're fitted, and then with that chunky black jumper with the holes. I would say this is definitely leaning moon, maybe a little bit of sun because of the interesting detail. I've also added my black chunky bag because you can see it leans more into the moon style route, but I kept the golden egg necklace and the flats to still add a little bit of that sun vibe. And so this is definitely moon outfit with sun and fire undercurrents. Now let's say that you want to add a bit more fire. All we need to do is replace the jumper that is a little bit more looser fitting with something that is fitted and preferably red. So I added my red lacy turtleneck, and you can see straight away the outfit as a whole becomes more fire because it is form-fitting. But moon is still coming from the accessories and sun is still coming from the accessories. And if we wanted to amplify fire and sun even more, I would replace the moon bag with a bag that is fire and sun, so that red leather textured bag, which has definitely the color of fire, but it has a little bit more of that interesting shape and it is definitely in a brighter shade. So I hope by now you can see that you can have a style route combination, and by keeping the shoes the same, you have a constant element from one of the style routes, and then you can vary what you actually wear in terms of an outfit to help you create a variety of different looks for a variety of different occasions. So let me know in the comments which was your favorite outfit, and remember to check Vivaya's shoes with the link below using my discount code as well.